O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to today's deep dive. When you think of ancient mystical texts, you probably picture, I don't know, candlelight and secret societies.
Right, yeah. Not exactly modern internet drama.
Exactly. Not like an internet troll leaving a toxic comment. But today, we are looking at exactly that collision. Our mission is to explore this really profound gap, the difference between just acquiring superficial data online and actually achieving genuine ethical mastery.
It is a massive gap, yeah.
It really is. And it's wild because an ancient Greek numerology system actually explains the toxic behavior we see in modern esoteric communities.
You see this tension right away in the core math of thelema.
Yeah.
If we look at isopsophy, which is the Greek practice where letters basically hold numerical value, the word for will, thelema, calculates to 93.
Right. Wait, if you take the Greek word for transcendental selfless love, which is agape, that also adds up to 93, right?
Exactly. It is 93 as well.
I mean, that is like scanning two completely different products at the grocery store and discovering they have the exact same underlying barcode.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So the system mathematically proves that exercising your true will is, well, inherently an act of love.
And that underlying barcode is why practitioners traditionally read others simply with the number 93.
Just the number.
Just 93. It is shorthand for the phrase, love is the law, love under will. It establishes that power and compassion are completely inseparable. You cannot exercise your will effectively without it being anchored in universal selfless love.
Okay, but understanding that math is really just step one. Because if the core formula is will driven by love, how is this actually practiced?
Well, historically, practitioners undergo structured initiations. The sources focus on two main orders. You have the AA, which is geared towards solitary internal progression, and then the OTO, which operates as a social fraternal order.
Right, the OTO.
Yeah, and in the OTO, there is a specific stage called the lover triad. This demands that practitioners pivot from being self-centered to having an active, genuine affection for humanity.
I am struggling to square this, though. I mean, if the math proves that will is love and the offline structures enforce empathy, why does the source critique modern digital practitioners for, displaying asshole behavior?
Right, the disconnect.
Yeah, it feels like the theory totally fails in practice online.
Well, the internet allows people to skip the friction entirely. The text critiques these individuals, calling them digital wizards, or rather memorably, zitlets.
Zitlets. Oh, wow.
Yeah, zitlets. They are people who just use search engines to hoard occult factoids. You see, on a forum, if someone challenges you, you can just block them.
Right. There is no real-world emotional consequence.
Exactly. You amass this itinerant power by hoarding trivia in a vacuum, completely bypassing the slow, maturational inner work required by the true orders. They have the vocabulary, sure, but they skip the maturation.
So relying on Google instead of disciplined, real-world practice leads to basically an ethical collapse.
A total ethical collapse. And that is what Libre, the system's foundational book of the balances, warns against. It demands equilibrium.
Equilibrium, right. Balancing the elements.
Yes, you have to balance elemental virtues.
Yeah.
Like, if you embody the fire element, the salamander, you must adopt its energetic strength, but actively suppress its vice, which is irritability and ferocity. Because the text explicitly states that unbalanced severity is but cruelty.
Unbalanced severity is but cruelty. Which brings us to the most striking metaphor in this stack of research.
Oh, the rat metaphor?
Yes. The text says that when these digital practitioners mock their peers without empathy, they act as a dead rat in a small lavatory drain.
It is such a visceral image.
It really is. By asserting a high status without mastering basic empathy, they literally clog the spiritual plumbing. They take up space in these shared community forums, and their toxic behavior stops any real knowledge or spiritual current from flowing to newcomers who are genuinely trying to learn.
And that perfectly captures the illusion of digital knowledge. Simply Googling facts provides this horizontal accumulation of data, which leaves you with a spiritual vacancy.
Right, there's no depth.
Exactly. It doesn't provide the vertical transformation of character. True mastery requires balancing that raw data with the emotional labor of empathy.
In an age of infinite information, it is so easy for you, the listener, to mistake having the facts for actually doing the work. The barcode might say you have the knowledge, but if you're acting like a troll, you're still just a dead rat in the drain.
Looking at the bigger picture, this raises an important question about the spaces we inhabit and how they shape our growth.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will leave you with this final thought to explore on your own. If digital spaces naturally reward superficiality, hot takes, and unbalanced severity, is the internet inherently incompatible with achieving the true equilibrium required of the lover stage?